Yeah, and it's a straightforward, and it's a nice, lovely day in the 1st of April 2021. In front of me I have 3 bikes, and I also have 2 bikes in the back. And these bikes are all big bikes, like 1000 cc's, but the smallest is like 800 cc's. All of them produce well over 100 horsepower, and it's quite enough for this little roads here, as you see in the south of Sweden, and it's in the outskirts. You can see also that Boulder Green has not come up yet, but it's coming. So we have a little bit of a, what can I call it, late spring this year, and the temperature is, well, something like 14-15 degrees Celsius, and it's quite high temperature for this day, because as today we have reached those temperatures again, but it's been well under 10 degrees after this day. So this was a real brilliant day to go riding on your motorcycle. So this little road is just in the north, above the little town in the center of the county Skåne, Eslöv, and we are riding these small roads with the paved, of course, because they are so brilliant with the nice curves. Like this curve, it's not in the right degree angle coming here by the farm, but it's nice to take on the bike, because you just lean over and give it a firm throttle all the way through. And then it's a little bit of up steep hill here, and you can just hit some more gas and it's all good to go. And as you can see, there's also small houses everywhere around here, but that's okay, because most of the folks are inside and they would not like to get out in this little road when we come running by. So this little road is also there's a limit for it, and it's just 70 kilometers per hour, and that's exactly what we're going, no more no less. So we always pay the strict attention to rules, and we follow them very, very strict. And we also, as you can see in this video, we have a very clear and long distance between each other, because it's very easy to brake, and then everybody have to brake, and that could cause some problem if you're too close to your companion or your mate, whatever we can call it. So anyway, here we are entering a little village called Stehag, and of course we have to reduce the speed a little bit. Downhill here, you can see on the right side all the nice houses that's in this village. So we go down to the speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour, just about. And you can also hear the wind in this video, because it's a GoPro 5 Hero Black, and the microphone is not hidden in my helmet, so we get some wind from the driving. Unfortunately, I did not have the time to set the extra microphone inside my helmet, because I was a bit too eager to get out riding. But it's nice. Here we have a railway crossing, so we have to stop for a little bit. It's a red light, and or down.
Jag kan inte stå här. Jag kan
So
inte
that's
stå på
one of my teammates in the group.
Jag ska bara filma den
It's called
lite.
Christian, and well, he's a very good driver, and he's a very good map reader. Well, he doesn't have any map, he has it all in his mind, so he knows all these little nice roads that we take in the summertime. So when we wait here, we check our system, as you can see. It all looks good on the frame. Driving by in some 160 kilometers per hour because it's the straight line. So they just push it. They have the time sheet to hold on to it. They have to be in the minutes precise. And in the next station, of course. There we go. That's the straightforward. And here we have a little nice bike with a wheelchair behind. Not a wheelchair, but a wagon for the small kids to ride in. And they are well protected from the wind, snow, and rain. Well, not snow right now, but otherwise quite convenient. So we ride along here, and also a very small road with very nice turns. Most of the turns, oops, there's a car, and we did that one okay. No problem. It looked like it was very narrow, but it was not narrow at all. It's just the GoPro that really can't give you the full picture in reality and the right angle in reality. Because you think this is a very small road. Okay, it is a small road, but it's not that small as you can see on this video, because it's wider, in my opinion. So, but what you can see is that if you follow the guys in the front, you actually have a good opportunity to set the pace in the same way as they are going, because you can see the road up ahead just by following the second or the third bike in front of you. And you can also see when they are pushing on the stoplight. That means you have to push off too. So sometimes it's very nice to be a bit behind, but if you're too much behind, well, what happens? It's like the rubber effect. You have to push your bike harder to keep up with the guys in front. So the ideal place would be like somewhere in the middle. Or if you are a very good driver and you know the road ahead, then you can push up in front. But that takes, in my opinion, it takes a few years. First of all, you have to know the road, you have to memorize it. If there's a crossing, you have to know where should I go now? Right, left, straight forward? I don't know. Is it a good road to take right or to take left, or is it just straight forward? We always look for those nice little curvy roads that you can use your bike the way you want to use it when you go riding. I do think that most of bike riders actually enjoy riding in curves instead of just straightforward. It's just like one A to B, the straightforward way to go, and that's not always so very good or convenient or pleasurable, if you want to, because, well, what will you do besides that? It's not much to go and just straightforward and look straightforward, and perhaps if you're lucky you will get some nice scenery from the nature, or perhaps you will see some distance towns up ahead when you go on the highway. But for me, it's in the long run, I do like to prepare. Many times when I do my journeys and I have the destination set, and I tell Google Maps that I do like to avoid highways, and that gives me almost every time longer road, longer time, but in the meanwhile, I also get a nice road I have never discovered before, because it's not a European road, it's not a bigger road with more traffic and so on. So it's like these small roads here, and they will actually take you from A to B on paved road, so it's not really an issue. You're very seldom being faced by a gravel road, as Google suggests in the destination. So Google always searches for paved roads instead of gravel roads, and that's nice because you don't really want to go on gravel road with those kinds of bikes that we use here, because they are not so very reliant and built for this kind of roads. Then you have to go pick some other model for this, but that's nice too, of course. I guess I should record this video when my throat was a bit better than it is today. But just for testing, I would like to test this film now and see if I can add this soundtrack to the film and just update the film. That would perhaps be a little bit nicer than just go driving with the bike and you look, but well, nobody's talking. So I think I thought I'd do the talking afterwards here, because it's not so very easy to talk all the time when you're driving. Sometimes you have to pay more attention to driving than to talking, even if you're talking to yourself, if you know what I mean. So, as you can see now, the guy up in front of me is actually pulling away, and I don't know why I'm pushing a little bit behind, because of course it's a new bike for me and I'm not really acquainted with the bike yet, so I can only catch up with the guys. Well, oh, there's an obstacle. We have a horse on the road with a rider, and we slow down. The important thing here to do is to not give throttle directly after you pass it, because every new sound that comes up from the bike, it will actually scare the horse quite a lot. So it's not just to go past in a slow pace, you also have to do it in an even pace, because every sound is picked up by the horse, and they have a very nervous reaction to the noise changes of the vehicles they're meeting. Some horses are very good at it, and some are not so good at it. So one thing you think might you see here is perhaps some deer or some wild pig, or even some rabbits or something crossing the road, but on these roads we seldom see anything crossing the road when we go driving here. So, and that's quite nice, because you don't want a big wild pig to cross the road, because they are very hard to hit, and you will not really succeed in keeping the bike upright when you should hit one of those. Also, we have the deers, and we have in fact we also have moose in these woods, but that's not so common to see, especially not in the day. It would be like in the end of the day, but when the sun sets. But that's a very odd seeing a moose on the road. So So for that you have to go a bit further up in the middle of Sweden, where you have the more forest and this environment for the moose, because there you can see them quite a lot, and many times quite narrow to the roads. Also small roads like this in the woods. So we come to a stop here in a little village, and this little village is called it's called, we don't get a sign here, so we actually missed this information here. So I guess that's a bit shame, but it's still in the middle of the county Skåne, Sweden, and we are destined to run to a small cafe or stop at the Europe Road E22. It's called Liderrasten, and they have some small dishes here. They have coffee and they have cookies, and a quite big restaurant too. So also a place where you can fill up the gas and you can eat something and have a rest at the parking for truck drivers and so on. But it hasn't been so well visited in the later days here. But it's a nice place to stop, stretch your legs, and then move back on tracks. This particular run we did have some encounter actually with my jacket, because the zip, it got stuck, so I couldn't get my jacket off. That was quite an effort of us to get the jacket open again. I could not zip it down more than 2 or 3 inches, that's all, and I could not get out of the jacket because I have a back cover protection, and that made the jacket quite stiff on my body, so I couldn't get off. But finally we managed to squeeze out of the jacket, and then we were three guys unzipping the jacket for me. That's a big luck, because if I wouldn't have done that, I had to sleep with the jacket, and that would be very warm indeed. So thanks guys for helping me with my jacket this ride. I hope it won't happen again, because that's gonna be quite inconvenient for this. Anyway, it's steep here. Oh, I mean it's narrow, but anyway, it's not that narrow. But we keep on riding here, and it's just a nice road. It's dry, it's not so damp as it could be in the forest here, because the sun doesn't reach all the way to that. It's nice, it's very nice pave here, and it's not many houses, not many cars, and it's a road seldom used by anybody else. So for us, yeah, that's nice, because we can actually use quite a lot of the road. Also, of course, depending on how far you can see here, but you can see quite a lot if you want to. So it's a big joy for us. I don't know if you can see the guys in the back. There's supposed to be 2 guys in the back right now following me, and it's like we have this rule of, say, some 2-3 seconds between us. That's very good and even distance to keep, so we don't get lost and we know which road to take, and yeah, keep the flow going, sort of speaking. And this we started off at 6 p.m. this day, and the whole journey took, well, something like 1.5 hours, something like that. So it's not the real full version, but I guess it would be quite a lot of running in that case to pick up all the pace here. And I just want to show you some of the nice pics that we took from this little evening journey in the middle of the week, as we intend to do in the summertime. It's very nice to come together, talk a little bit what's happening on the bikes. Yeah, just some good old gossip when we meet and we drive together. That's always nice. Some of these guys has been driving here on these journeys, small journeys, for 20 years, and that's nice, because then you have good experienced guys on the track, this little track, and always nice to know that they are on the bikes and moving and still enjoying riding bike, even though it's just a run here without any bigger adventure. It's just fun to do it, and you don't have any bigger plans. It's just a little run of the evening, and you don't have to plan like you have going away for several weeks or 1 week and going far up in Sweden. That's when you have to make some bigger plans, where to stay, where to perhaps put up a tent, and such a things, where to eat, and well, you don't have to think about that. The most things, the most problem you could get on this little journey is, where should we stop for a break? Cup of coffee, perhaps if it's a hot summer day, you want to have an ice cream or coffee and cookie, perhaps something like that. So that's always nice. And there is also many bigger events here in Skåne you can run to, both at the weekend and in the middle of the week. We have like these small put down dancing places that's not used anymore, and many riders, both with bike and cars and other vehicles, they come here to join each other and to meet, talk, and you can buy some hot dogs and hamburgers and drink soda and stuff, and you can just meet up, take a look at your vehicles around, and stray around. That's very nice to do. And it's there's quite a lot of weird vehicles around in Skåne, both motorcycles, older cars, American cars, European cars, all those what we call rare brands here, and it's quite nice, because then oh, that guy, he's got a new car this year, and it's a very rare one, and somebody perhaps buys a new motorcycle and so on. So it's always nice to look around and see what people are up to during the rest of the year when you can't really drive around. So that's that's the thing that's so very nice. People with the same interest and same subject to talk about. That's nice. That's really nice. It's always easier to take these little small trips instead of trying to plan bigger trips with somebody, because it takes a lot of timing and planning stuff, vacation and things like that. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll join you for the next video I will produce. So thanks guys.